everyone, welcome to another Ashes of Creation video. Today we're going to be talking with Missy, of course, as usual. She's my co-host. And she'll be the one and only co-host. Tonight we are going to be going over the economy, player businesses, and auction house. There will be some overlap throughout all these videos, but there's new sections within each one that doesn't cover all three. So I think this should be a pretty interesting topic. Being I don't think anyone's really covered it yet. So in details of this. So but yeah, let's get to, well, first off, this little picture right here. I don't know, Missy, if is that going to be you, the little dwarf selling your hammer?
No. I'm not going to be a little dwarf with a beard. That would be me up there in my glamorous, rip-tattered, black mage finery.
Mage finery? Your shroom outfit?
My shrooms. I'll be covered in shrooms.
Right. Alright, well, I guess let's hop into this for economy. Missy, I guess go ahead and take it away.
Alright, so, economy. Markets in Ashes of Creation are regional, which means that each market has its own character. Because resources will shift locations as they're exhausted, this will keep people moving about the world, seeking out the best resources for their crafting builds, and the best markets for their goods. There will be no central auction house or warehouse. Auction houses in up to 2 economic metropolises, including their vassal nodes, can be linked with the linked economy's superpower. There will be item decay and other ways to combat inflation. Oh, interesting. Item decay. I want to know more about this.
Right.
There will be player-to-player trading. One major feature in our economy that differs from most fantasy-style MMOs is that we're not approaching it from a global scale. Rather, we're trying to carve the world up into regions and make each one focus independently, while of course at the same time working together.
Yeah, I think that's what Ashes period's trying to do, right? Very player-driven, very centric on certain aspects. It's not going to just be like, this castle falls and it affects everything else. It's just like that castle falls and it affects that area, but over here something else is going on. And so even with the economy, it looks like it's going to be, you're not going to be able to buy a sword from region A if you're in region C. So yeah, definitely it'll be interesting to see. Will it work? That's the question. Being you're putting a lot of power into players' hands, but it also then that depends on how many people are actually playing your game.
Yep.
It's a gamble. I won't lie, but if it works out, it'll be amazing. But anyways, I guess economic regions, Missy.
Alright, so economic regions are static areas defined by geographic points of interest. Castle regions are larger and encompass multiple economic regions. Nodes are the glue that hold castle and economic regions together in potential synergy or chaos. Node ZOIs, zones of influence, are fluid and change their area based on the progression of the node and its neighbors. Node ZOIs, castle regions, economic regions, and node ZOIs can overlap. The whole map would be under the influence of one of 5 castle regions. However, castle regions aren't the only type of region. There are also economic regions, among other things. Okay, so buying and selling. So they have personal shops, player stalls, and auction houses have different properties. So player stalls. Cost is a rental fee. The personal shops, placement certificate purchase, and auction houses, there's a listing fee. Location for player stalls can be rented at locations near the unique building in an economic node or in marketplaces. For personal shops, certificates from non-metropolis nodes allow placement near the node's unique building or on a freehold. Certificates from economic node metropolises allow placement anywhere in the world. And for auction houses, at markets in village economic nodes allow raw resources and processed goods to be posted. At exchanges in town nodes allow all goods items to be posted. Metropolis stage economic nodes enable remote bidding from linked economic nodes. Auctioneer NPC emissaries present in vassal nodes allow some access to the parent node's auction house. So player present. For player stalls, an attendant NPC is assigned to the stall. Character does not need to be online or at the stall. For personal shops, player must be online and present at the shop. And that's not applicable for auction houses. Storage. So in a player stall, it's linked to the character's warehouse. In personal shops, it's linked to the character's inventory. And with auction houses, raw materials and gatherables are automatically deposited within the listing node's local warehouse. Anything other than raw materials and gatherables will be mailed to the purchaser. Advertising. So in a player stall, items and services are listed on bulletin boards in the same region. There may or may not also be listings at auction houses. Personal shops. Custom billboard appears above the character. Items are not listed in the parent node or auction houses. And for an auction house, items are visible in community boards, bulletin boards. Metropolis level, economic nodes enable worldwide sale prices for auction houses across Vera. And PvP. For player stalls, players are not able to be attacked or robbed while occupying their player stall inside the limits of a node. Material losses may occur if the node's warehouse is destroyed during a node siege. For personal shops, players may be killed while occupying their personal shop. Oh, great. And are subject to material loss due to normal death penalties. And for auction houses, it's not applicable.
Yeah. You know, the
great.
more...
So I have my shop, I could be held up and murdered.
Exactly. Yeah, like I said, that's something that we're definitely going to have to talk about later, probably tonight, is the fact of there's a lot of, you know, the risk and reward, right? But man, I tell you what, we know how people play these days, and though some people might love that aspect of, like, you know, like in PvP, when you're in an arena or a match and you get killed, well, that's what you're doing. But this right here, Missy, you don't like PvP. So if you're selling your stuff and someone comes and just kills you, you know, like, and you actually lose stuff, like, you're gonna be mad. Especially
makes me think I probably want a stall and not a personal shop.
Yeah. And according to this, and I could be wrong, but it almost sounds like auction houses are just going to be resources and processed goods, like raw materials, not actual.
Not clothing, like an axe or something.
Yeah, like actual. Yeah, it just looks like it's going to be raw materials, gatherables. I don't think it's actually going to be like, a chess piece, a weapon, but that could change. But alright. Alright, well, here you go, Missy. Player stalls.
Alright, so player stalls, also called kiosks and rental stalls, are rentable locations near the unique building in an economic node or in marketplaces. The constructible building available for placement by mayors of any town, stage 4, node or higher. Let's see. Should I read Stephen's quote? All nodes do have the ability to spawn player stalls. If you're not an economic node and you don't have a market, that's essentially your unique building, then you can construct essentially what would be called a marketplace. And that marketplace will then come with certain services, and it will come with a certain number of stalls. The economic node, as I recall, has the ability to construct an auction house, and the auction house serves, through the economic means, the ability to list and sell items that comes with additional stalls as well for the players. So renting a player's stall enables players to sell items as well as provide repair and enchanting services, even when they are not online. Player stalls are rentable by node citizens. Player stalls may be utilized for a period of time based on the price paid to rent the stall. Player stalls are linked to a player's warehouse. Players are not able to be attacked or robbed while occupying their player stall inside the limits of a node. Player stalls do not require the attendance of the character or for that character to be online. An attendant NPC is assigned to the stall. This may be an image of the player. Bulletin boards that list the items available in player stalls can be accessed from anywhere in the region. These give the location of the stall so players can travel there and purchase the items. Stall sales are also listed in auction houses. This may no longer be accurate. Okay, so skip all that. Players are able to input required items for repair and also purchase required materials for that repair. Player stalls may still operate during node siege declaration. This is subject to testing.
Yeah, so as you see, Missy, even though you might have a stall, you could still be attacked. This is in the limits of a node. So to me,
your warehouse, because you're selling from your warehouse, and your warehouse gets attacked, and you lose your items that way.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting because that means that if there's a node siege and you lose a lot of your
But at
stuff.
least I don't lose my life.
Right. Well, in a little way you
that's a
do.
win.
You lose time because all that time gathered resources to sell if they were just all taken by the victors. Yeah.
But still, I don't die. I live to create another day.
Exactly. Alright, so we got personal shops.
Okay, so personal shops, certificates to place personal shops,
Slops.
player shops. I haven't even been drinking water. It's not vodka in that glass. So personal shops, player-owned shops, may be purchased by citizens and non-citizens from economic nodes. These certificates allow the placement of a personal shop near the unique building in an economic node or on a freehold. Once the economic node has reached Metropolis stage, personal shops may be placed anywhere in the world. When a character creates a personal shop, a billboard pops up above them with a custom advertisement message for items or services available on that character's person. Purchasers can interact directly with the character to purchase these items or services. A player shop is where you have a certificate to essentially create a shop with your character, and a little billboard will pop up above you as you sit down for that shop and advertise a custom message that you want to say that has to sell things and or services that are on your person. So players can then come up to you and they can interact with you. So you reside yourself to that shop.
Those are always really tough to hard. Those are always hard to read.
They're not written down properly.
Yeah. You're like,
I'm not stuttering, really.
My brain did not compute. Alright, Missy, go and take a drink. Alright, Missy, you take a drink, and I'll finish us off with Auction House. So, auction houses accompany unique node buildings and economic nodes. Markets and village-level economic nodes have auction houses that allow raw resources and processed goods to be posted. Exchanges and town nodes have expanded auction houses that allow all goods and items to be posted. So actually, there we go. There's our clarification on it. It actually has to be a town and up to be able to post like actual made crafted goods, like chess pieces and weapons and stuff. Economic nodes that have reached the Metropolis stage unlock the linked economy superpower. Up to 2 economic metropolises may be linked in this manner. Metropolis-level economic nodes enable worldwide sell prices for auction houses across Vera. So I guess that tells you right there that... So it's actually pretty unique. To break away from that for a second, is if you think about it, that if the player base is determined that node C will be a metropolis economic node, then that's truly going to be the hub for all commerce. Like,
Yep.
so, I mean, being that says it's worldwide, all across Vera. So if you buy something, so if you want to, it's almost like you need to go to New York City to be a movie star, or LA to be a movie star, you need to go to Hollywood. Like, if you want to make money, you need to go and move to that metropolis, the economic
And New York
node.
and LA are linked.
Exactly. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Items listed in one linked economic node can be bid on from any other linked economic node. Linked economies also connect an economic. Wow. Yeah.
Economic.
Economic. See, I had it.
I'm contagious.
Right. Metropolis and its vassal economic nodes. I'm not even going to read those because pretty much we just said it. Auction houses enable players to list items at the economic node in which the auction house is located. A listing fee will be charged to list items in the auction house. Vassal nodes of the auction house node will be able to view items that are listed on the auction house regardless of node type of the vassal node. This will be possible through an auctioneer emissary NPC in that node. Items cannot be listed in non-economic vassal nodes. Items listed are also visible in community boards, bulletin boards. So what I'm getting from that is if you're all the way at node A across the map and you want to sell something, you have to pretty much go all the way to node C. So yeah, there's definitely going to be
caravan.
Yeah.
That could be attacked.
Yeah, so yeah, if you're trying to process all your stuff over there, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see here. Integrated auction houses allow players to purchase items directly from remote auction locations. Remote auction houses. Purchases of materials and gatherables will be automatically deposited within the listing node's local warehouse. Players will need to travel to the warehouse to retrieve them. Players wishing to move these items elsewhere will need to utilize the caravan system and other type of transportation, what Missy just said. So what that's saying is actually technically, so if you buy wood from A, but you need to get it to C, then yeah, you're going to have to use the caravan system. So that's going to be interesting. Purchases of anything other than materials and gatherables will be mailed to the purchaser. So wow, yeah. So if it's just pure raw anything, you're gonna either have to haul it yourself, or if it's a lot, you're gonna have to use the caravan system. So I wonder how weight's gonna be utilized in this game. Like World of Warcraft doesn't have weight. You can just bag space, but in like BDO, you get weighed down if you try to carry anything big. So we will see how they go about that.
I have yet to get a cart there, so that's my next thing.
Right. There may be a taxation difference between auction houses versus other player businesses. And then bulletin boards. Bulletin boards are available within nodes and player taverns. A market UI lists the current items available for sale in the node and in the same economic region. This includes items for sale in player stalls and auction houses. Players can't purchase directly from the market UI. Instead, it gives the location of player stalls where the items can be purchased. So there is no convenience in this game. No duty finder, no dungeon finder. You just gonna have to just go wherever you need to go. If you want to repair your stuff, you can't just use gold to repair your stuff. You actually have to get the items that item is made out of to repair it. So, hashtag not convenient is what Ashes is. Encourage localized grouping. Enable posting of jobs. Quest sponsorship. Alright. Alright guys, hope you liked that video. We will be moving on to player versus player trading in our next video. But thanks for watching, and make sure to press that subscribe button. That's your best way to support us right now, and give us that little like. And also follow us on Twitch and Twitter. Alright guys, take it easy. We'll see you on the next video.
Bye for now.